I've been digging my way through Cavern Adventurers.
Excavating my review of Kairosoft's newest RPG title. Are you looking for a new simulation game, perhaps focused on exploration and discovery? Well, look no further. Today I am digging up all the dirt on this game. Cavern Adventurers has had a rocky reputation with fans since its launch, but fear not, I am here to clear the air and unearth if Cavern Adventurers is worth your time playing.
Hey, I'm Bao. Wait a second, I think I took a wrong turn. Much better. I review video games. Welcome back to the channel.
Ever since I was a child, I yearned for the mines. Luckily, I am able to dive right into the depths of the world within Cavern Adventurers. Cavern Adventurers tasks you with leading a squadron of brave cave explorers to uncover the mysteries lurking in the depths hidden below. You will manage your splunking squadron, uncover team members, and other surprises along the way, all while clearing out hordes of enemies to advance to the bedrock layer hidden deep below. This is a super refreshing gameplay concept, and in theory holds potential to be a fantastic simulation and RPG game crossover. However, this title is one of Kairosoft's lowest rated games of all time. Let's uncover both the best and worst aspects of this game to gain insight into why this game is so divisive. And it's only fitting that our journey starts right now as we begin exploring the depths of the Yearning Mines. After you have titled your cave, which hopefully is a little more creative than my never-ending plaguing brain rot, you'll be able to select your first two companions that pledge to reach the core of the planet with you. Journey to the center of the earth. Let's see here, who to pick. Big decision right here. And whoa. Stop right there. Neve, Ember, and Marlo McQueen? Ka-chow.
Ka-chow, I'm Bao.
I can't be deferred from selecting McQueen in any game that I play. This is a no-brainer. Easiest choice of my life. These are my two loyal splunkers that will be with me from the start. You might also notice that they have assigned classes to them above their names, Guardian Soul and Warrior Soul. These classes provide unique buffs to battling. As we start, the king summons McQueen, explaining the Yearning Mines were sealed by heroes in ancient times, which has since been overrun with monsters. This sounds like a terrible Minecraft movie pitch. Holly Digby is assigned to us to assist with the Yearning Mines exploration project to give us the rundown of the main gameplay of this title. To advance further into the caves, you have to assign mining staff to excavate cavern walls indicated by this pickaxe symbol. They will then begin chipping away at the cave wall, and just like that, you've uncovered new explorable areas in this game. Just make sure not to go down the Nutty Putty cave. No, McQueen, don't go around that corner. You almost lost everything in that race against Jackson Storm. Don't make me cry again. Looks like we have just uncovered our first hidden treasure here, and wow, would you look at that? It's a channel subscription button.
So you're telling me that it costs nothing to subscribe, and by doing so, it helps out the channel tremendously, alongside liking and commenting?
Well, I certainly know what I will be doing. There's only one way to get that icon off the screen. You gotta pick that subscribe button apart. So close it looks like there's still time to click the notifications bell if you enjoyed this video, and it's gone. Thanks again for supporting the channel. Behind the subscribe button, we uncovered 30 diamond gems, which are used as currency within this game. These aren't essential to the gameplay, it's the money that you will be using to purchase everything, whereas the diamonds allow you to skip waiting for resources being mined like the ore. The exploration crew just let me know that they stumbled across an entire functioning dormitory that was conveniently just buried and assembled, ready to go under a small layer of dirt. This explorer must be related to the assistant Sarah Suplex from Pro Wrestler's story that would always find sleeping quarter rooms stashed within the closets. I think it would be in our best interest to keep a close eye on these two and their limitless power to manifest entire rooms as they see fit. It's the gold rush over here. We are only on the first floor, and yet we are already discovering precious gems and entire constructed buildings. But be careful where you are drifting, McQueen. You just skidded into a room of monsters that have been terrorizing our humble lands. This is the primary quote-unquote battle mechanic of this title. When you stumble across a monster's nest, you will then have the option to prepare for an epic nest siege come nightfall. What a vicious squad of goons we have here. We have the extremely evil and nefarious Rice Baller. What a vicious little fella. They will stop at nothing to ensure that these caves are wrapped in seaweed. I love that the monsters have a little defeated quote when the battle ends. You're 6 months too early. Really, I wasn't expecting. Wait a second. Aren't you supposed to say that when you win the fight? Now that we cleared those goons out of the cave.
Wait a second. Blow that piece of junk out of the ground!
It's time to actually delve deeper into the cave. So far, we've only been scratching the surface at the first level. So how exactly do we explore lower? Your adventurers will alert you of a cracked discovery, which can lead to lower levels. Let's prime the TNT here, grab some flinted steel, and bang! It always gets a chuckle out of me that the adventurers literally drop from the sky into the lower level. Urgh, my coal mining shins. But I reached a new lower level, hooray! This, in an earth shell, is the primary gameplay objective of this title. Okay team, here's the game plan. Mine out levels, clear out the obstacles, and discover new treasure. But sir, what about saving Johnson? We haven't seen him for days. Fine, only if he's on the way. There are building aspects in this title, but it is definitely a second-hand feature in comparison to the other Kairosoft titles. For instance, you only have a super limited single row to place your facilities into, but you're able to place dormitories and other facilities underground in caves similar to the NPC huts in Terraria. Just make sure to add a wall to the back of it. Hey boss, what's this shadowy orb? No, McQueen, don't mind that! The next primary gameplay objective is managing our fleet of adventurers. There's a lot to customize here to prepare them for the deeper levels they will mine out. You are able to spend your hard-earned schmeckles on training up the staff. This allows them to level up and increase their stats in battle. Can also upgrade your equipment at the blacksmith. Wow, check this out. I just leveled up my stick from level 1 to level 2. It's now a level 2 stick.
I'm going to really stick it to them now.
How did they even buff up this stick? Sharpen it slightly in a pencil sharpener? Stick slander aside, I'll take the upgraded stats and give the level 2 stick to McQueen ASAP. Each team member also have specific weapons that they specialize in, so you'll have to carefully pick which equipment everyone wields. Luckily, McQueen is so fond of his signature stick, he's got a stick by its side. If you're lucky, you might even get a level 3 stick. You can even recruit monsters at the Monster Ranch and send them out on expeditions to hunt out new resources as your great mine continues. You'll even come across floors that are completely hazardous, like this floor full of smoke. Who's been hitting the Benjamin down here? I could barely see through all this haze. That's alright, luckily I paid good money to install these vape detectors and good as new, our adventurers managed to clear away the smoke.
Well, I guess they didn't want any of that smoke.
As you progress through the game, you'll continue to unearth the very core of this planet, stumbling across boss monsters. In order to challenge bosses, you'll have to defeat all of the enemy seals on the level to unleash the boss. Make sure you have all of your adventurers trained up for this fight, or well, yeah, that can happen. My poor adventurer there just took the wrong turn and encountered a chuckster. He didn't stand a chance. When releasing a boss, you will notice that the game provides an option of swapping the day-night progression to manual or automatic, suggesting that the manual mode might help for boss fights. I think this is actually a really interesting mechanic to provide the player with the option of focusing what gameplay aspect they want to improve, cave exploration during the day or hunting monsters and bosses at night. I wish there was more daytime and nighttime specific features, but this is a really interesting concept and I'd love to see it expanded upon in a future game. This has a lot of potential to be expanded upon in a later RPG title, but I think it would add more value if some kind of money or resource is required to toggle the manual and automatic setting, rather than just being able to swap it unlimited times with no cost. It's a bit overpowered. With enough leveling up, equipment upgrading, and staff recruitment, we are able to make quick work of this golem, reverting him back to a pile of iron ingots. Or a rose, if you're a real one and remember. Well, that was quite the dramatic exit. Defeating a boss allows you to unlock newer depths to uncover. Hopefully my villagers are in high spirits after that triumphant win. I can gather up this ore for you. It's been so long since I felt this useful.
Damn, that got real so fast.
As you explore below, you are tasked with ranking up through quests set out by the king. One thing I like about these tasks is that you can actually click on it in the overworld. You don't have to navigate through a menu to open it up. It's similar to Dreamtown Island. This is a great feature, and the other facilities in this game also follow this. I hope this continues in future titles. The tasks themselves are incredibly easy to rank up. You will often find that you immediately advance to the next rank up requirements without even realizing, due to how automated and quick all of the gameplay is. Similar with the yearly ranking results, you can quickly climb to the top of the leaderboard without even changing much in your world. This game, for better or worse, really plays itself. Another greatly welcomed quality of life feature that this game includes is most of the menus being auto-advancing. This is often an issue I encounter with Kairosoft and other simulation games. There will be a barrage of never-ending constant news bulletin updates or task completion notifications that will entirely pause the gameplay until you manually click the screen. With Cavern Adventurers introducing auto-advancing menus that don't interrupt the gameplay, this allows the game to run a lot more seamlessly and uninterrupted. You can continue observing your staff as they advance through the mines without constantly being paused. It's a breath of fresh air that I hope more games continue to implement. But I do mention that most of the menus are auto-advancing. Unfortunately, text updates like Holly Digby's text pop-ups and the text before a monster battle begins still don't auto-advance and pause the gameplay. But it's a step in the right direction as they don't pop up often in the late game. This game plays a lot more like an idle game that is more so something to play casually in the background, not needing to check up on staff or features very often. When your rank increases enough, eventually you will have thieves which will invade and attempt to loot your hard-earned minerals. This is a nice addition and helps break up the gameplay slightly. I just wish there was more features like this to keep the game entertaining. Where this game certainly shines is providing more intuitive quality of life additions, as there are two notable additions that I really enjoyed that I want to quickly cover. The best addition by far, in my opinion, are these side panel pop-ups that appear on the right hand side of the screen without disturbing your gameplay to suggest to you what to spend your resources on. This is a really great way to spend your cash that you need to burn through before you hit your maximum limit in your safe. It's also how I discovered that you have to feed your monsters cheese for them to level up.
Cheese.
Can't argue with the monsters there, cheese is delicious. The next notable feature is a fast forward button that is usually accessible upon completing the game. This is a godsend for this type of genre. When activated, it slowly burns down on a limit, but it is absolutely worth it. It significantly picks up the pace of the game and is well worth utilizing. Cavern Adventurers easily has some of the best control additions and improvements in any Kairosoft game. These additions are all welcome and greatly enhance the experience. Speaking of quality, I also really like the ships that set sail and fly in the background. It's a nice touch to make the game feel more packed with life. There's also a second, totally useful, definitely will get a lot of use, pause button that's on the screen anytime. Yeah, we don't talk about this button. Let's uncover some of the gameplay quirks of this title before we touch on what could be improved. Building combinations return, but they are somewhat limited and not as functional in this game compared to other titles. The combinations are only comprised of 2 facilities, but one of the stranger aspects of this is if you move the facilities, they still retain the combo benefits. They just seem less important in this game. One aspect that I do enjoy is that the building combination recipes are actually presented to you, so this eliminates the guessing game of what building combinations go together. Some people might not enjoy that it eliminates the mystery of finding out the combos, but I think it's much more straightforward and intuitive. Another quirk of this game is the bizarre wild cast of colourful characters. These are always great, but this game has a particularly great roster. There's a huge amount of adventurers to discover, which always makes it worth the while seeking them all out and adding them to your roster. Yes, this game had a playable cow before Mario Kart World. Ore is also returned. They are unlockable as an ability from monsters with a small chance to activate when fighting. Again, these traditional quirks aren't as apparent in this title. By far, the most unique aspect of this game is the concept of underground exploration. The main unique feature of exploring underground is essentially like the reverse of Mega Mall's story in the Pyroplex. When mining through the caves, you'll eventually uncover a variety of surprises like smoke-filled caves, giant holes which you have to build a bridge to get over, and also flooded pathways. While the cave exploration is such a promising and exciting new concept, it's about time we dig into what isn't so amazing about this game. I still remember how over the moon I was when it was first teased that Kairosoft were making a cave exploring title. As soon as I first saw the teaser banner image for the first time, immediately my mind was flooded with ideas on how this game could work. Originally, I had the idea that this game would heavily rely on sending Splunker crews out to scout ancient gems and relics while exploring vast and unique caves. Discovering these unique items would allow you to smith rare ancient armor and create your own unique weapons for your own town members to use and hunt stronger monsters. Oh, 2023 Bao, do I have some news for you?
A new Tomodachi Life is coming out.
And also, the exploring aspects of Cavern Adventurers is nowhere near as detailed as you're imagining. I was so eager to see what kind of exploration this would bring to the table, and that's where Cavern Adventurers is the most disappointing. The gameplay is just so not engaging and extremely repetitive. At the start of the game, I had barely any direction on what I had to do outside of clicking the pickaxe icon to slowly expand the mines. After playing more of the title, I realized that this is essentially the entire game, and it felt like I was doing nothing. There are a lot of upgrades for your residents, and lots of buildings to unlock, but the entire time you're essentially just watching the exact same cave slowly being mined with little gameplay. The fighting is a massive letdown. The battles are primarily just auto battlers with next to no preparation needed outside of leveling up your adventurers with the bundles of cash that you keep continually accumulating. Sure, you're able to tap on the use items that damage enemies and heal your players, but it doesn't feel like you are battling anything at all as it plays out automatically. With this being one of the most significant aspects of the game requiring you to constantly fight bosses and enemy spawners to advance, it would have been nice if there was any control over the fights at all, rather than watching a practically predetermined cutscene every single time. It's so incredibly easy to train and level your staff with the never-ending gold that you just get supplied. It really does feel like an AFK game that only occasionally gets interrupted when Holly Digsby speaks. No shade to Holly, of course, you speak your speech, girl, I'm here for it. This usually isn't an issue for Kairosoft games as there are plenty of building layouts to customize and set up in the meantime while not battling, but the 2D grid is just so limiting in this game which removes any fun of designing your base to your liking. So let me get this straight, this game has limited RPG aspects, boring battles, and little to no building customization. This game lacks all of the amazing features and depth found within Kairosoft games. What happened here? I wouldn't say that it's a bad game, but it's likely that people will find the amount of gameplay extremely limiting, repetitive, and in turn, boring. So we have identified that the RPG mechanics are shallow, the battles are not engaging enough, and the building customization is virtually non-existent as the main issues of this game. So why not identify some simple ways to improve these aspects if there is ever a future title? By far, the biggest suggestion I would have for improving this game is variety in the cave design to make them more fun to explore. I mean, it's literally in the title. Cavern Adventurers has you continually digging down from the exact same cave from the start. It's monotonous and tiring to slog through it all. There's just not enough variety to battle out getting to the final level in my opinion. A simple dramatic improvement could be including new cave world areas to explore in some kind of world hub or hub map, a simple addition found within many RPGs. The cave scene in this title could be the starting area, then you could also discover an ice continent and its caves. How about a lush jungle environment complete with overgrown caves and even a volcanic region with lava pouring out in each turn? These new areas would have environmental enemies and bosses unique to these areas and give you new swords and weapons and armor only found here. Each area having its own unique cave types could also require new equipment specific to these areas, so that overall expands the inventory needed to explore. This would significantly freshen up the cave exploration gameplay, which is the heart of this title. The next main issue, in my opinion, is the battling. This game desperately needs some kind of interaction controls when playing the numerous battles in this game. Simply having turn-based options and some selectable skills would go a long way. Watching the battles over and over with little interaction just isn't fun in my opinion. Even just making it so that the current items that you just tap to use can be held by adventurers would freshen up the gameplay significantly by incorporating more planning prior to fights, rather than just continually letting them play out automatically. Lastly, the building customization is in dire need of more variety. As soon as you unlock buildings in the game, you essentially just place them anywhere, free, and not worry about them again. How about a potential village on the surface that plays out in a typical isometric 2D, similar to most other Kairosoft games like Dungeon Village or Dreamtown Island? This would provide features for both fans of layout-based gameplay alongside RPG-based gameplay. These are the suggestions I think would really help out this game a lot, and I would really love to see a sequel of this game expanded with more mechanics like this. There's just so much potential for a cave exploration game. And if you have any other suggestions on what could help improve the game, please let me know in the comments below and discuss. I would love to hear your thoughts. Overall, this game, in my opinion, has only 3 main issues to tackle to improve. I would love to see more battling controls, more variety and interesting caves to explore, and some extra building customization for a more complete experience. Lastly, before the final review, I hope you'll hear me out in this section as I discuss the soundtrack and sound effects of the game, and well, it's surprisingly good. Cavern Adventurers has a relatively high quality soundtrack. It feels like Kairosoft put more emphasis into orchestral instruments and classical music techniques for this game to make it feel like a wondrous RPG adventure. It's just a shame that there isn't much battling or RPG variety in this title. You are really only descending one generic area the entire time with little sense of exploration. I was pleasantly surprised with the sound direction in this game and can't wait to see it utilized better in Kairosoft's next major RPG title, with epic various themes for different levels, battles, and worlds, which would really fit it like a glove. But hold on, before I dig myself into more of a grave here, it's about time I put forward my review of the game to help answer if this game might appeal to you. Cavern Adventurers is an ambitious Kairosoft game that unfortunately falls a bit shallow with its lackluster gameplay. The concept of a cave exploring RPG has great potential, but Cavern Adventurers caves are just so bland with lots of repetition and not much reason to fully explore. The game is so automated and requires so little interaction that the rank up requirements are quickly met with little to no effort. The game struggles with an identity crisis of being a simulator builder or an AFK game. The enemy and boss variety is solid, but the battles being far too simplistic with minimal user input or battling mechanics makes the charm of them deteriorate quickly. There's a decent amount of villager customization with classes and weapons to upgrade, but they don't have a large impact on the gameplay. This is by no means a bad game, it just leaves a lot to be desired, with potential to have much more engaging fights, significantly more creative cave level design, and more flexible building customization options. Cavern Adventurers excavates a solid 5 out of 10.
Cavern Adventurers has a solid concept for a unique RPG experience, but it fundamentally lacks core gameplay to keep it engaging to play through.
This title is almost like a prototype for what could have been an amazing fleshed out RPG game, in line with other Kairosoft legends like Dungeon Village and Beastie Bay. If there was a future addition to this series, I would love to see more meaningful and challenging fights, caves that have actual theming and biomes, and more emphasis on expanding your base with facilities that produce more varied weapons and skills. Just imagine the potential of a future title with Dungeon Village hub worlds, that you then send your teams out on cave expeditions through various environments with interactive turn-based battles. Now, to answer the question if you will enjoy this game, if you enjoy more AFK games that require little input, you will find this game worthwhile. But if you are looking for more signature Kairosoft town development building or RPG battles, you'll be a tad disappointed. Overall, I still encourage giving the game a go, but there is certainly room for improvement. What do you think of Cavern Adventurers? Have you already played the title, and what did you think of your playthrough? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment "Ka-chow, it's Bao" to let me know you watched the full video. Thanks for watching the entire video, I really appreciate it, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.